All right, we are live. It's the 4th of January, and welcome to the 360 Live. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're ready for 2026. It's a new year with a lot of cricket going around, lots of things happening. I want to know how your year's been, 2025, looking back. You saw me posting some stuff on Instagram and some of the social media platforms about reviewing my 2025, which has been a very interesting year. Lots of things happened. Watched RCB lift the trophy in the IPL for the first time. Also, the Proteas, WTC champions last year, lifting that mace. I went to the States to watch the Augusta Masters, and just so many other beautiful family-orientated things happen as well, where we had some very special moments. Watched my boy get his first 50, and very, very special family moments throughout the year, watching my kids grow up and watching my beautiful wife getting even more beautiful. Let me know how your 2025's been, what's happened, and what you're looking forward to in 2026. What are the things you would like to accomplish? I did a bit of soul searching over the last few days, thinking about the year ahead. I've got a few trips lined up to India, a few other things I would like to tick off. And then always, as it happens in an entire year of 365 days, there are always a few surprises, good and bad. And those are the things you can't really plan for, or you don't really know what's going to happen. But what you can do is get the basics in place, your value system, your routines, your priority list, what's more important, what less important. And it tends to happen that way. When you get those basics in place, you are almost ready for those surprises, good and bad. Bad surprise, you have a way to minimize the emotional damage. And when it's good, you sort of take it with both hands and you're ready to grab it and run through the door and make it count. So yes, please post your questions down below in the descriptions box. Great graphics once again. We've got an alien on some kind of UFO motorcycle thing that can fly, heading into 2026 with a lot of pace, a lot of fireworks, and hopefully we can maintain that kind of energy and pace throughout the year. Guys, before I start, there is some live action today, and it will be on fan code for all of you in India. Make sure you don't miss out on the final of the T20. It is, let me just double check here. I think it's the Desert Vipers against MI Emirates. That's correct. It is today, 8 p.m. IST, so that's over there in India, 4:30 in South Africa. But if you are there in India, get your fan code account ready. Watch this final live. Sam Curran, Karen Pollard, lots of superstars in this final. Much anticipated. Remember, we spoke about the Desert Vipers, owned by the Glazers. It will be very, very. We know who the owners of the MI franchisees, MI Emirates this time around, with Karen Pollard, part of the furniture of that franchise. He will be featuring. So it's two huge franchises against each other, and that's all live on fan code. Guys, let's start off with the SA20. We had the clash off the top of the table yesterday. Unfortunately, it rained out. Both the games over there in the Highveld of South Africa rained out, unfortunately. JSK was up against two times winner of the SA20 trophy, that is Sunrisers Eastern Cape. But unfortunately, due to lightning and bad weather, lots of rain, there was a hailstorm for like 30 minutes, which damaged the field as well. But ultimately, I think it was the lightning scare that sort of got the game called off, and a big pour down. The field was very wet, and that just never got going. So JSK, top of the table, 3 out of 4 wins now. But remember, the one was rained off. Sunrisers had one loss in this tournament so far, but they're close second to the JSK team on 12 points. And then Paul Royals in third there, DSG, who I think still sits with the strongest squad. But once again, it shows you it's not always the strongest squad that comes out on top, right? Interesting there, only 1 out of 5 for them. Star-studded squad. If do yourself a favor, go Google the Durban Supergiants squad and just go through the team, and you would go like, I don't know how they're going to lose a game, but yeah, they are only 1 out of 5. Pretoria Capitals, my team, or the team I'm rooting for, obviously being from Pretoria, they're lying in 5th, only 1 out of 4. And then very interesting, the super franchise, my Cape Town, no wins yet. And they've had a couple of home games as well. haven't been able to kick off this year so far. It's a great tournament, guys. I posted about it as well yesterday on Instagram, talking about some of the close encounters there's been and the energy and the atmosphere. And once again, credit to Graeme Smith and his team for just nailing it to the T. If you haven't come down to the SA20 or watched any matches live, you have to come and experience it. It is absolutely phenomenal. There's so much activations happening around the ground. You just feel like you're part of a party in a way. You know, there's always something happening around you, and there's just beautiful cricket. The fires are going. Everyone's doing the barbecue. There's music. There's live performances. And just a fantastic vibe. And the one thing that I noted is the youngsters that go and watch these games. There's a great excitement around the youngsters around South Africa wanting to go watch these matches live. And I'm actually going to one of the games over there in Pretoria as a fan on the 12th of January, where Pretoria Capitals are playing. It's going to be a great match to watch with some mates. I'll take my kids for them to start dreaming, you know, and that's ultimately what you want to achieve with these kind of tournaments for the younger generation to start dreaming, which is great. So talking about T20 cricket, then the World Cup squads have been announced. We start with South Africa's squad, but the World Cup will start on the 7th of February, guys. It's just around the corner. So a lot of focus for all the international teams will be on getting momentum now, getting the form, getting your batters in form, the bowlers in form, and ultimately getting that team chemistry absolutely nailed for the World Cup starting on the 7th of Feb. It will be in India and Sri Lanka. I remember playing a couple of T20 World Cups over there as well. It can be tricky with the traveling, playing in Sri Lanka, different conditions once again, even though it is subcontinent. There are differences in the two countries, not phenomenal differences, but something just to note for the coaches and the planning staff. All right, let's start with the South African squad here, captained by Aiden Markram. Couple of surprises, right? Let's just quickly have a look here. No Tristan Stubbs, no Ryan Rickelton, also no Reza Hendricks, Gerald Coetzee, or Neil Baardman. I mentioned these names because all of them have featured not so long ago. And obviously the coach making the final decision. The surprise one there, David Miller, he hasn't played a lot over the last while. But here he is. He also sort of seemed to be a little bit out of form, but showed his class recently, especially in the SA20 not so long ago, scoring a 70 out of 30 balls and winning that game for his team, for Paul Royals. But there we have it, Captain Aiden Markram, Corbin Bosch, Devil Brevis, no surprises there. Had a fantastic series over there in Australia. Quinton de Kock made his comeback, also the other surprise. But you can't leave Quinny out. If Quinny is keen to play, you throw him into the team no matter what. We know what he's capable of. He gets the team off to fantastic starts, and more often than not, when he gets going, he wins you the game. And those are the kind of players you want in the World Cup. You want to feel like you've got someone steady up front, and if he does get going, the opposition will be under severe pressure. Tony de Zorzi, Donovan Ferreira, another, I won't say surprise, but those are the kind of players you do need. Someone who's very explosive and can take the game away in a matter of 2 or 3 overs from the opposition. But I say surprise because he hasn't had a lot of opportunity to showcase his skill, hasn't had a lot of long innings to bat. So hopefully he won't be put under too much pressure in that World Cup coming in too early, because he is the ultimate finisher from overs 10, 12 onwards. That's where you want him to perform. So you need a steady top 3, top 4, to give Donovan the room to sort of, or the freedom to come in and express himself. You don't want him to come in after the 6th over, having to build an innings and then push on. He can do it, but hasn't had a lot of exposure with regards to that of late. I say it's a surprise because he hasn't had those kind of opportunities to really have 2 or 3 innings where you can't leave him out of the squad. But it's a bit of a risk Shukri Conrad took here, but it can pay off because he is a highly talented, very destructive batter at the back end. Let's quickly just finish the squad there. Left arm, brilliant left arm bowler George Linder can also hit big sixes at the back end. I think that was the thinking, to have spinners in your team that can actually contribute with a bat as well. Keshav Maharaj, very similar. We know what he's capable of. I think he is the number 1 ODI bowler in the world at the moment. Maybe number 2, he's there and thereabout. Kwena Mapaka, left arm fast bowler. So I said no Gerald Coetzee, no Otniel Baardman. So Kwena, I think, is the guy that came in there. They went for the youngster, someone who's also explosive, can win your matches instead of the steady steady Eddies, Gerald Coetzee and Otniel Baartman. It is a surprise to a certain extent, but I do like this. I really like this. Throw a youngster in there. There's lots of experience around him in Alungi and Giri and so forth. So, and KG Rabada, who can guide him through the pressure moments. We'll take that in a minute. And Andrich Nortje, he made his comeback recently off injury. And also Jason Smith. It's great to see him there. But it's nice to see Andrich there, outright pace, alongside Rabada and Giri and Mbapaka. Lots of options there in the pace department. And you'll see now when I compare it to the Indian squad, a lot different, where there's a lot more focus on spinners. So we'll see what kind of chemistry works the best. But I like this squad. It's very balanced. It gives you options for different conditions in Sri Lanka and India. And all in all, fairly happy. We know about the surprises. Tristan Stubbs, Ryan Rickleton, Reza Hendricks, Gerald Coetzee, and also Otniel Baartman. We're very unlucky. They will be on the waiting list if there are bad injuries in the tournament. But unfortunately for them, didn't make the squad. And similar thing happened to India. Let's take a couple of questions before we move on to the Indian squad for the T20 World Cup. Otniel and other experienced campaigners should name instead of Mpaka and Jason Smith. Mpaka's really struggling. Yeah, so that's the kind of risk you take as a coach. And the coach would have analyzed their performances throughout the last few years. I think he's had an eye on Gwena Mpaka for some time now. Where the only thing with him is he's a little bit inconsistent, but there's no doubt that the skill and the talent and the ability to win you games of cricket is there. And I think that's what Shukri pinpointed. And then he decided to go with a lot of experience around him. So he doesn't have to play Gwena every single game. You'll throw him in somewhere if he comes through properly with good form, and then you'll hold on to him. If he doesn't, he can sit on the side, and you've got KG, Ngidi, Andrich Nortje, lots of seam options, guys. You don't want to overload it in the seam department. I think he's seen that the steady three guys that he's got there, along with a few all-rounders, Marco Jansen I haven't mentioned. So there are lots of seam options. So you don't have to play Gwena, but there might be a game or two where you feel you're up against opposition that don't like seam bowling a lot. You throw Gwena in there. It's lovely with the left arm, good variation. And if you maybe get tired of the right armers and you feel you need that left arm variation with the Marco Jansen as well, there just lots of variation in this team, great balance and lots of options. And that's what I like the most. Jason Smith into the squad while not having enough experience of T20 cricket. I saw him perform of late, guys. I think he showed enough. And once again, a gut feel from Shukri Conrad, I feel. Instead of going for the boring, steady pick, he decided, you know what, I'm going to experiment with one or two players because I feel around the squad we have a lot of experience. Corbin Bosch, there's another seam option. Guys, most these bowlers, and that's what I like about the squad the most, it's an all-round batting bowling squad. Even Aiden Markram can offer you spin. Corbin Bosch is a better bowler. Brevis can bat and bowl. Donovan Ferreira can bowl you off spin. Jansen can bowl. Linda can bowl and bat. All of them basically can hold the bat and give you overs. So just a very versatile, great options kind of squad. And that's what Shukri went for, because he might think that, or he feels perhaps that in India and Sri Lanka, you need those options. You need to think on your feet. You need to have the ability to change your squat on the last minute and still have options with both bat and ball. So all in all, this team will never be out of the game. Even if they get knocked out of the water with bowling first, they'll feel like we're batting very deep. And vice versa is true as well. If we get knocked over for a cheap score, we have lots of bowling options. We've got that off-spin option to the left-hand batters. We've got left arm to the right-hand batters. We've got outright pace. We've got dibbly dobblers. We've got guys who can swing it. We've got guys that can nail Yorkers and bowl bounces. That's what you want. All bases covered with a squad. There's experience. There's also youth. A little bit of everything. Let's move on to the big squad then, the Indian squad. I'll take one more question. I feel somewhere Ryan Rickleton should have been picked into the World Cup squads. What's your thoughts? Look, ultimately, I think he didn't take his opportunity. It was up against him and Quinny, both keeper batsmen. Quinny was the guy that put up his hand. Recently in the T20 series they played, scored that phenomenal 100. He's been in form in the SA20. So ultimately, you can't argue with that. I love Ryan Rickleton and the way he plays, but it comes down to that. That's the harsh reality. He didn't take his opportunities as well as Quinny did. And that's the long and the short. Nothing else to add there. Both fantastic players. Both can hold the gloves. Quinny, more experience perhaps in international cricket, World Cups before. So Shikri making that judgment call and deciding to go with Quinny. All right, Donovan Ferreira, backup keeper as well. Don't forget about that. Donovan can hold the gloves, so he didn't feel like he needed to have two outright wicket-keeper batsmen. All right, Indian squad, guys. There we go. Surya Kumar Yadav, Sky, captaining the squad. Guys, this is a powerful squad, but you'll see the balance is completely different to that of South Africa. Less seam bowlers focused, a lot more spinners. What is very similar is a lot of players offering skills with both bat and ball. So you can really play around with the balance of the squad on the night, or depending on who you face. Abhishek Sharma up front, Sanju Samson, wicket keeper. I noted no Rishabh Pant here, and a few others as well. No Shubman Gill, no Yashasvi Jaiswal, no Jitesh Sharma. So those are the unlucky guys who missed out. Tilak Verma, Hardik Pandya. Remember, not long ago he wasn't in the squad, I think, and I called for him as being the big pivotal player. He's the guy that can really win your matches with both bat and ball. He can bowl in any situation. He can bat anywhere in the lineup, and he can actually go and win you the game. When he walks out to bat, there's a sense in the opposition like, we need to get him out, we're going to lose the game if he bats for 3 or 4 overs. And same with the ball in hand. The minute he comes on, no matter where he bowls, you feel like he's got a golden arm and he might just break the partnership. So great asset for Surya Kumar to have in the team. We've got Shivam Dubey, also similar kind of player, hits a big ball, can bowl you a few overs. Akshay Patel, vice captain, Rinku Singh, the big hitter, and then the seamers, Bumrah, Arshdeep, and who's the other seamer? Bumrah, Arshdeep, okay, Shivam and Hardik. So they only have 2 outright fast bowlers, right? Bumrah and Arshdeep, which is interesting, and it shows you the difference of the balance between the 2 squads. 2 outright fast bowlers, and then they fill that up with a Hardik and Shivam Dubey. Very interesting, guys. It just shows you that India is very much focused on their spinners to win their matches. And with that new ball, they get, Nitish Rana, obviously, as well. Arshad Rana is the other seamer that can offer you. He's been bowling with a new ball, so as long as he can do that, the problem with that is he doesn't have a lot of experience doing that at international level. But if he can give you a few overs with a new ball, we've got Bumrah and Arshdeep, so there's enough seamers, and then Shivam and Hardik Pandya can fill up the rest of the overs. But the spin attack, this is what it's all about. Washington Sundar, Chakravarti, Akshar Patel, and Kuldeep Yadav. Right, there's your spinners. If I'm just going to double check, Akshar, yes, Kuldeep, Chakravarti, Washington Sundar. That's gonna be the majority of the overs, and that's where you want to win your matches. So it'll be all about matchups, and they cover all bases there with mystery spin, stock standard left armers, bit of Kuldeep, Chinamans. They've got a little bit of everything here with that Washington with the stock standard office. So covering all bases, and that's where they will focus on trying to win the matches. And it's been working over the past, so why change now? Interesting to note, Ishan Kishan comes in there as a wicket-keeping option as well. Will he play? Where will he bat? Looking at the top 3, there's a bit of a headache there for them. Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, will they be opening the batting? Will it be Ishan at the top? Who will fill that spot? So I would like to hear your thoughts on that, guys. Please let me know. And Tilak Verma obviously can bowl a few overs as well. Let's not forget about that. But yeah, I mean, a mouthful, because it is that kind of squad. It's all over. All of them are incredibly talented. You don't know exactly where they're going to fit in, who's going to play, who not, who will be bad at the top, who will bat in the middle, where will they all fit in. India should have picked Siraj as he is experienced campaigner. What's your opinion? Yes, we see Siraj in the ODI squad now. He's one of the unlucky guys to miss out as well. But that's once again just comes down to the balance, right? You've got Bumrah and Arshdeep there. Arshdeep more of, I don't know if he's an all-out frontline bowler, because he can hold the bat as well. But they are your 3 seamers, and I think that's maybe the reason why you went for a Harshit Rana, because he can hold the bat as well, where Siraj is not really a batter, he's an outright bowler. And also, they don't want to focus too much on seam bowling. You can see the focus here is completely on the spinners to win them the games. If they get wickets up front with the seamers, they almost see it as a bonus in a way. So yeah, Mohamed Siraj unlucky, but at least he is in the ODI plans moving forward for the 2027 World Cup. Let me know what you think of the squad, guys. It's a powerhouse squad. I mean, they are definitely one of the favorites, especially because they're playing at home. They will want to put that peg in the ground and show everyone that they've got what it takes to win that World Cup. And believe me, they've got a very good chance with this kind of squad. But so do all the other teams. All other teams look dangerous. The South African squad looks phenomenal. And they also covered all bases. So it will come down to the team with the best chemistry, the team who's got the ability to sort of make turns. You always see championship teams. It's not only one or two guys that perform. It's guys making turns. The openers fail in the night, but number 3, 4, and 5 come through. In the next game, the openers score your big runs, and the middle order gets to rest. And then the bowlers also juggling around. When Bumrah has a quiet night, a Kuldeep comes through and he gets you 4. And vice versa again. In the big pressure moment, Bumrah comes and he fires 2 Yorkers at the back and then he wins you the game. And then there's Hardy coming through, picking up a very big wicket in the 11th over, breaking a big partnership and turning the momentum around. Those are the kind of championship teams you want. And India's got all those bases covered. Excuse me. But I do believe South Africa has got a very similar setup. Excuse me. So the Year 2 World Cup teams, guys, the 2 squads. We'll cover more of the squads going forward. I think I've said enough of that. I'll answer a couple of questions around the T20 World Cup. India picked Ishan Kishan put that up again, for the T20 World Cup. But why is Jaiswal not getting the chance for one of the players to change the complex of T20 cricket? So they're not really competition, guys. Remember, Ishan will be backup wicketkeeper, and Jaiswal is not a wicketkeeper. So I think it was a difficult decision. It was definitely not easy, as I see Jaiswal as one of the biggest talents in world cricket right now. But it was probably against him and Abhishek, and Abhishek's stats speaks for themselves. All right, he's probably top of the list when it comes to T20 batting in the world right now. So I don't know, very, very difficult. They felt they had to get rid of one of the opening batters to make space for a wicket-keeping batsman, which is Ishan Kishan. But yeah, that's the long and the short. I don't know what else to say about that. Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma, and Ishan Kishan. There's your 3. I think 2 of them will open the batting. I can't see any other frontline opening batters out there. You've got Surya Kumar Yadav in the middle order, Tilak Varma, Hardik Pandya, Shivan Dubey, Rinku Singh. So there's your batting lineup, and the rest is filled up out of bowlers who can actually bat as well. So Ishan Kishan probably took the spot of Jaiswal, but remember, he holds the gloves as well. Couldn't get rid of Sanju Samson. He's also a wicketkeeper. You need 2 wicketkeepers in the World Cup, guys. If someone falls sick overnight, you don't want Tilak Varma all of a sudden being told, you wicketkeeper tomorrow, you know. And he lets go 10 extras through the facing those tricky spinners, and you end up losing the games because you had 10 buys. So that's where he missed out. It's unfortunate, but that is the harsh reality of World Cup squads. You can only pick 15 players, and not always easy. Ravi Ashwin said ICC trophies are losing their charm because there is no sufficient gap between events. What's your opinion? I don't know about that. I mean, there are a lot of tournaments going on now, a lot of series being played. You have to cover all bases from an ICC point of view. We know the BCCI has got that window of the IPL that can't change, and then a lot of other boards around the world want their T20 tournaments to take place where they can sort of create the most revenue and keep that board and cricket in their country healthy. So it is tough. I'm not too fazed about that. There's not a lot of race between the different tournaments, but the minute the World Cup starts, it will be supported because we all love watching T20 cricket. And the good thing about that is all these players play cricket around the world building up to World Cup. So maybe there's not sufficient time in actually getting game fit ready as a unit, but you see that in football as well, right? The football World Cups, the players are playing all around the world, and all of a sudden they get pulled out. Look at the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations now. Mohamed Salah, for instance, was playing for Liverpool a couple of days prior to the AFCON start. So he quickly helped over, joined his Egyptian team there, and boom, they go. And then it's up to them as a unit And as countrymen, can they find that chemistry and can they sort of gel together? You need good management and a good coach to keep the boys together, and then they go from there. But interesting point, it's something to keep an eye on for the ICC to make sure you keep the charm of the World Cups, because that's ultimately the main thing, right? Is for players and teams to lift trophies and come back as world champions. All right. Does height of spin bowler make a difference? Most definitely. So every bowler that you face, that you're ever going to face, is different. There's no two bowlers that are the same. There's no two human beings that are the same. And so the height definitely makes a difference. Obviously, you get more bounce, depending on if he actually comes over the ball or gets his hand under it. We had that one bowler, and I forgot his name now. I played for Rajasthan Royals. We called him the door handle or the door knob. He almost bowled like he just turns a doorknob. So to me, he never got bounce. He was almost like a slider. Someone like a Ravi Ashwin always, he had the ability to actually do over the top stuff, tall bowler. And it's up to you as a batter to pick up that the wrist angle is like that and not like that, because he had the slider as well. And those ones actually just skid on, and you can play him almost like just a way swinger. But interesting question that you get different bowlers. You even get a Yuzi Chahal, who's very, very short, but he had the ability to actually come over the top, create trajectory, and get that bounce still. So versatile bowlers who actually can get bounce, get it to slide through. But ultimately, if you have a very tall bowler, you do think about the bounce. It is in the back of your head. But you have to play him as a singular bowler. You can't compare bowlers or say he's like that guy, or like, you can say similar to him, but there are no two bowlers that are the same. But it does play does play a role. It's up to you to adapt as a batter. All right, rumors about you will be batting coach for RCB in the upcoming season. Is that true? Predict the top 4 teams of T20 World Cup. So no, the rumors are not true. I'm always open to be involved in one way or another. I'll speak to Virat moving forward and see if the appetite is there for me to spend a day or two there. I think it'll more so be like not so much a batting coach, but more like just a super fan. And someone to pitch up to say, I'm right behind you guys. And I mean, my experiences from the past, and we possibly went wrong in the past in finals, but now I don't think it's needed. They won a trophy, and I think they've got what it takes to go on and do it again. So I don't think they have to call on a lot of experienced campaigners of the past. I think they can focus on what they have now and the recipe they've had in that last season, going on to win that IPL. All right, let's move on to Usman Khawaja, guys. He's retiring after the Ashes from international cricket after the SCG final. So after this final test match, which kicked off today, I saw England batting first. Let me just pull that up quickly. 211 for 3 in 45 overs. Obviously, rain affected, but obviously a great start for Team England there. And let's see who scored some runs. 70 for Joe Root, not out. That's looking ominous for Australia. So England pushing to finish on a high, hopefully going back-to-back test wins for them, but still losing the Ashes and the series, right? But lots of talk, lots of controversy about Usman Khawaja and his press release. He got quite emotional where he spoke about not ever feeling like he could be himself. There was always a lot of spotlight on him. He spoke about the racial side of things throughout his career, and now he felt like he was sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Picked on in a way from the media, from commentators. He especially spoke about former players. So I think a lot of former players might have said things that really hurt him emotionally, and he was quite sore. And it's sad to see, right, guys? And whether it's right or wrong, whether everything is accurate or not, whether all of the things are accurate and some things are maybe also his fault, where maybe he was insecure. I have absolutely no idea what's right and wrong. What we do know is racism is real and it shouldn't be happening. And in that regard, I feel for him. But he had a fantastic career, and I think we need to celebrate that. I always loved playing against him. I always felt like he was a guy who had respect for the opposition, but he was out there to win the game for his team. And those are the kind of players I have a lot of respect for. To go into the finer details is not up for me. What I do know is I watched the presser, and it was quite sad to see in a way where you should be happy at the end of your career. You should have tears of joy, and I think with long careers, similar to mine in a way, it was bittersweet. There was lots of political damage done throughout my career. No racial stuff. I don't want to go into that, but obviously had to deal with a lot of racial stuff because of what happened in South Africa in the past. And I think similar for Usman, which is not fair on players. You should just go out there and showcase your skills and follow your dream and do what you love most for your country. But yeah, ultimately, great career. I'm not going to talk about it any further. You guys, so tell me what you think. But it's all about celebrating the left-hand great from Australia. I had two bad powers to make you young and see you play. Thank you very much. I wish I could get younger too. My beard's getting grey, but it is 2026. This year, I'm going to stay fit and healthy as much as I can and get ready for the WCL, which will take place later this year. I'm looking forward to hit some cricket balls again as soon as I get home, and we'll get those things going. All right, some super chat questions. More of you guys. I really appreciate all of you. Thanks for supporting the 360 show and the 360 channel on YouTube. I'll just quickly scroll through all my comments here. We'll finish with a few other things. Yes, we've got news on a few other things that I'll cover after this. I'll take a couple of questions. Emily, why don't you play one more league along with the WCL? I won't say never, but that's all I'm sort of capable of at the moment. I do get a lot of requests throughout the year. I even thought about playing the SA20, which is taking place now. And when I do watch the games, there is a part of me that go like, I want to be out there. I want to play for the Pretoria Capitals and try and win some games with the boys. But just priority-wise, once again, I spoke about that priority list and things that are very important to you and less important. Cricket is not the most important thing in my life at the moment anymore. And I see the WCL as a bit of a mixed bag where I can go and express myself and play cricket and do what I love. But my family is also there with me, where that's priority. And it's all about showing them what it was like when I used to play cricket. They're in the change room with me, which was never allowed back in the day, really. They're in the bus with us. And it's almost like a completely different experience where your family is part of you playing cricket. And that's what I really enjoy about the WCL. So maybe there is another tournament like that will not disrupt the family routines. Remember, they got to go to school. WCL is only 2.5 weeks. So it's during that school holidays. They might miss 1 or 2 school days, and we take them with. Some of the other tournaments is a month long, and it will be very disruptive to the family. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Guys, just quickly, Kolkata Knight Riders news, breaking news. They had to release Mustafizur Rahman. For those of you who are KKR followers and fans, I can't go into the ins and outs of the political side of things, but as we know, there is the statement. The release has been carried out following due process and consultations upon the instruction of the Board of Control of Cricket in India. So Mustafizur Rahman will not be playing in the IPL, and a replacement will be found for KKR. Before I go on with questions, I'm just going to finish up with a bit of a plug for you guys over there who has not got fan code ready yet. You will be missing out on a lot of live sport, and it's all about tennis, guys. The biggest tennis stars all around, out of Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner, Novak Djokovic, guys. Lots of incredible things. ATP Masters 1500 and 250. There's the Hong Kong Tennis Open. Look at those stars performing there. There's also one in Brisbane. Nick Kyrgios, I don't know what you want to call him, the entertainer of the tennis industry. He's almost like a clown out there sometimes. Lots of entertainment. Medvedev there as well. And then there's the Bengaluru Open in 2026. Don't miss any of the action. If you can't get to the ground, to the tennis stadiums to watch the action live, get your fan code account ready and watch some of the best tennis players in the world go at it. All right, a few more questions, guys, and then I'm going to say goodbye, as I'm going to a place called the Wilderness today. and there's a restaurant called Pomodoro. It's one of the best Italian restaurants in the world. It's on the Garden Route of South Africa. If you've never been there, don't miss out. It's a little petite restaurant right on. It's not on the coast. You don't have ocean views, but they're very well known for incredible pizzas, pastas, and all kinds of other beautiful dishes that they offer. Good friends of ours. We've been going on holiday there for 40 years. So 40 years ago, when I was I was 1 year old. No, let's say 35 years. I was about 6 or 7 years old when we went there on holiday for the first time. And that restaurant was there already then, and it's still going strong. We know the owners very well. So looking forward to go there for a lunch with my folks and also my brother. The cousins will see each other, my boys and my brother's boys. And they actually had a sleepover last night. As I sent my boys to my parents last night already. And I'm pretty sure they didn't get a lot of sleep as they were super excited to see each other. All right, I'll take a few questions and I'm going to say goodbye, guys. Here we go. What's your secret for your glowing skin? I think it's just the beautiful light. See, it's quite dark on the one side, light on this side. I would like to think I looked after my skin over the years. It's not in 10 out of 10 shape right now, so I have some bags here. It's holiday season. We've been partying a lot. I've been in the ocean every single day this holiday. I bought myself flippers and a boogie board. And where I am at holiday, there's this beautiful bay, but it's not very big. But because of the bay, we've got like rocks on both sides. There's a stream on the one side. So the waves coming in, the water pushing back creates like a current on the side of the rocks. So you go out there and you don't have to fight the waves to get right to the back. So I catch the slipstream here on the left, and we get to the back, the big waves, and we ride them out all the way to the shore, which is absolutely incredible. Such a great experience. I've taken my boys out there. They're a little bit young. They're 8 and 10 now, but they had their flippers on and Dad was shadowing them. It's quite deep and it's a dangerous bay where we are as well. So you got to keep your hand on it. It was very cool to catch a couple of waves with my boys throughout this holiday period. We have a few days left. It's not done and dusted yet. But coming back to the holiday skin, I have some bags under the eyes. It's not in tip-top condition, but I will get back into my routine as soon as I get back home. Less waves, more gym work, better nutrition, as obviously in the holiday season, you sort of let go a bit. Mother-in-law is cooking, and there's all kinds of variety on the table, and you start nibbling too much. It is part and parcel of a very tough year, and then sometimes you just sort of afford yourself a little bit of luxury and enjoying the smaller things in life. I indulged a little bit too much maybe, but I will get back on it, and then the skin will start glowing even more going into the year. But thanks for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Moving on to the next one, guys, as I'm almost finishing up, and I want to know, there's a poll out there of the T20 final, Desert Vipers and the MI Emirates. Keep voting there who you think is going to take it. The poll is final, actually. I see now 72% for MI Emirates, guys. So that's what you guys voted. A lot of people not wanting the Desert Vipers to win. Yes. Okay. So I think my friends over there in India will be happy about that. He's not a big fan of the Desert Vipers owners, who is majority stakeholders of Manchester United, and you know what's been going on there at Man United over the last few years. But they've been fighting back on the log as a team, at least over the last few months, and hopefully they can keep pushing. There's more, I almost say fantasy, more Premier League games today. As you know, I'm playing Fantasy League, and gutted when I woke up this morning and I benched Declan Rice for this Fantasy League week because he was injured, right? It showed like a 50% chance of playing, and he went on and scored 17 points, fantasy points, and he's sitting on my bench. So I'm absolutely gutted about that. How to play 360 shots and how to play for India cricket team and how to play like you. I don't want you to play like me, but I want you to learn from me, from my mistakes, from my weaknesses, but also from my strengths. And if you watch From AB to 360 on my YouTube show, go through the episodes and just grab little hints here and there and take it into your game. You never ever try and copy someone, but you can take some of their strengths and learn from their weaknesses. And that's what I want you guys to do with the From AB to 360 show, and the episodes that I put out. Is not take everything too hard, but try out what I have to say, and what works for you, that's what you take into the games and into the nets. Go and work on it, get a feel for it. If it doesn't work, you let it go. You go back to what used to work for you. All right. That's what it's all about. It's about being your authentic self. And that's the motto for 2026. I want you to discover your strengths and your weaknesses. Keep an eye on people around you and what they do, what works for them. Get a few ideas, start dreaming, and take it into your own game, take it into your own life, and create your authentic self and your unique self. That's ultimately what you want to achieve. And then again, what was the book called again? Let me just pull it up here. I read it to my daughter last night and it was so beautiful. I'll just pull it up on my, yeah, here we go. So there's that little book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, by Charlie Mackesy. Guys, absolutely incredible life lessons in there. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. If you haven't read it yet, just go and read it. It's very simple and basic. It talks about the purpose of life. It talks about what is success. And that's being, the mole said that success is to love, and which I absolutely love. And the boy had a couple of good answers to the mole's questions as well. We came halfway through the book. I've read it like 50 times already, but I read it to my daughter last night and she fell asleep after like 6 pages. But it is such a striking book, and I'm not promoting the book by any means. I don't even know the guy, but what I do know is I love the way he writes. And there's also an interview about him, which we'll pull up maybe on the 360 show next week, where he was talking about signing books when he released this book. And right at the back of a queue, there was an 18-year-old boy who waited for like 2 hours just to talk to him. And as he was signing his book, he told the guy, "Why did you wait for so long?" And this boy just said something along the lines of, "If it wasn't for your book, I wouldn't be here today." And I guess goosebumps saying it. And the author says he went home that night and he thought, like, you know what? If I didn't sell one book in my life and just get that book sold to that one person, that will be a success to me. So obviously this guy made millions. He's world famous for his book. But he said it was those are the kind of moments that he writes for. And ultimately, that is the most beautiful thing. There's the book recommendation, guys. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. It's everywhere on the internet. But get your hands on it, because I've got one at home. And just to page through the drawings and the subtle beauty of the words and the impactfulness thereof, I really think you'll love it. So have fun with that. Be quiet when you read it and allow the book to really move you and to change some of your thinking. Have a fantastic weekend, Sunday. Enjoy the cricket, enjoy the football, all the sport on there. If you haven't got already, get your fan code account ready. You can watch a lot of sport on there. Follow me on social media platforms, guys, Instagram, X, Facebook, all of that. And I want to thank you for joining me on this beautiful Sunday, the 4th of Jan. Take care. Find your authentic self. That is the motto for this year. Lots of love, and bye now.